Well, I just set up tent. My God, the mosquitoes are horrendous. I just took a bath in that deep. My lips are numb. I got it on my lips. But for right now, I got the tent set up. That's all I'm worried about. I can even it out on the bottom when I get back. But this part of Alaska, people ain't worried about where you set your camp up. I mean, after all, it's called Coldfoot Camp. Nobody's gonna mess with your stuff either. It's actually a felony in this part of Alaska. If you steal somebody's sleeping bag or backpack, their survival gear, it's a felony. Man, my lips are numb. Yeah, Coldfoot actually got its name because when they had the gold rush, like in 1849 and 1848, this one group of gold miners got this far up and hit Slate Creek, and they got here around September, and they knew that they had to turn around, get called up here during the winter, so they calculated how long it was going to take them to get back. So more or less they got cold feet and turned back, which was a wise decision. Oh, yeah, I've went by the world's largest truck stop I'm fixing to go to now. Yeah, the trees, see, they're only limited in height. Oh, maybe 40 foot. The further north you go, the shorter they'll get. And the Brooks Range, Adigan Pass, is about another 100 miles up, I'm guessing, maybe 80. After that, there's no more trees. The reason that happens is the permafrost. The permafrost is so shallow in the summer, the thawed ground is so shallow on top of the permafrost that the roots can only grow down so far before they hit permanent ice. Can't grow no further. So that permafrost stunts their growth. Of course, the further north you get, the less you have to dig down in the thawed out soil. And most of it's like peat and muskeg. Matter of fact, when they have forest fires up here, the hardest part is to put the ground out. Get the fire out of the ground. Because it's like coal. It burns. Peat is really full, really rich in carbon. Matter of fact, they have found prehistoric men in bogs of peat. Like over in Europe, they'll discover an animal that has been preserved in that peat. It's like a tea. The juice in it permeates, kind of like tannin does. You ever heard of a Mad Hatter? Well, the Mad Hatter got its name because of the chemical they used to tan the leather with when they'd make them leather hats, and that affected their judgment, and they acted crazy because they really were. So hence the term, boy, that guy was mad as a Mad Hatter. Or that guy acts like he's a Mad Hatter. That same stuff's in peat. And when I get up here, I'll show you some. Matter of fact, I might can dig down to some permafrost, but I gotta get in some virgin ground though. God, look at the mosquitoes. I don't think they'll be showing up. What I mean by virgin ground is some earth that hadn't been disturbed by bulldozers and stuff. Yeah, Slate Creek coming up here. Yep. And there, he ain't got to worry about the cops here. Nearest cop is in Fairbanks. Now they have an Alaska State Trooper office here, but that's like if they have somebody with a DUI or something, they'll put them in a little holding cell or just go to court right there and let them go. There's Slate Creek. I was thinking about camping right on that little island, but I don't know what the weather's. It said rain, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, you could see a few cirrus clouds way up. Yeah, this is the beginning of the Brooks. Kind of like the foothills of the Brooks Range. Man, my lips are numb from that deep. Yeah, there's another big river right over there. It probably won't show up unless Wi-Fi is good. Absolutely off grid here. I talked to the guy at the restaurant. They got a motel here too. But I'm sure it's $200-300 a night. That tent will do. Yeah, there's a state trooper. I thought I seen another sign on the other side. Yeah, this is the Dalton Highway. Now through Coldfoot, it's paved, semi-paved. But other than that, the whole Dalton Highway is gravel. Just in, well, I don't want to say city limits, because there really is no city limits. All it is here is a airstrip, a motel, and a restaurant and gift shop. And I was down to my last shirt when I got to Yukon camp, so I had to get me one. Oh, and it's about 10 o'clock at night right now. I'm north of the Arctic Circle now. North of the Arctic Circle is at the 66th parallel. And for every degree you go north, like 67, you get one extra day of sunlight, or in the wintertime, one extra day of darkness. Yeah, I could go to the left, but oh yeah, I walked right past these signs. By the time you get to Prudhoe Bay or Barrow's like at the 72.3 parallel. You get 67 days in the summer where the sun doesn't set. And it's a little different in the winter as far as sunrise goes. But I'm north of the Arctic Circle, and it's so close to the summer solstice, it's 24-hour sun up here. Oh, I can read that sign now, that Arctic Ocean access restriction. 240 miles to Dead Horse. Dead Horse is the airport. Yeah, every airport, if you notice, they have a name for an airport, like Ted Stevens is Anchorage Airport. Barrow is Wiley, I think. And they're all named after aviators. Well, I don't guess all of them are, but Ted Stevens, I believe, was you might want to try, I may be wrong about this, but Ted Stevens, I think, was I better not say it if I get it wrong. I think he was a aviator. I want to say during the Korean War, but I'm probably wrong about that. Man, I bet this wind's sucky in this. Yeah, see, the sun is just going, it's not going down like that when it sets. It's just going around the edge of the sky. if you look on the globe, tilt it, because the Earth's tilted on 27-degree axis, and it doesn't wobble or anything. Well, over 50,000 years it does. Then you get that ice ages, but kind of like a resonance after it's. Here I go again, drifting off subject. But yeah, the Earth's tilted on the axis 27 degrees. So when it is on one side of the sun on the longest day of the year, well, I'm going to have a globe to show this. It's kind of like this. Pretend that's the sun where it really is, and the Earth's tilted like this. Well, the northern hemisphere is tilted into the line of the sun, but when it orbits around the other side of the sun, it's tilted away. I don't know if that explain that. And so right now let's see, what day is this? 12th? We got 9 days. Now the time period between each, see, normally up here it's like 12 minutes a day. The sun sets later until it gets to the point where it doesn't set. And the same with the winter. But as you approach a solstice, winter or summer solstice, that time gap each day starts to shorten, because it's fixing to reverse and go back the other way. June 22nd, the days are going to start getting slower. So see why it slows down, because it has to come to a complete stop, then start back up on June 21st. Yeah, I couldn't find that historical marker, and he said there's Wi-Fi for $6 an hour. He said it's real spotty and slow. I used their Wi-Fi back at Coldfoot Camp, my video prior to this one, and it uploaded that 4-minute video in about an hour and a half. So I may have to leave my phone down here with them at the truck stop. Fixing to take a left here, and that'll be the world's most northern truck stop. Let's see if I can. You see how many cars have passed by since we've been on the Dalton Highway? I've lucked out. That gal picked me up in Fox, brought me to Yukon, and then about not even an hour later, these gold miners that had some operation around here. Of course, they got all the big equipment that you just can't go out and pan with a pan and make anything. All the big stuff's been gotten unless you really go off the beaten path. You got big old sluice boxes and pumps. That's the only way you really make anything. Well, if you'll hang tight, there's some pretty neat stuff up here. Well, it'll probably take 3 days to upload this video. Now, if I can just remember how to get back to the tent. Now, I set some landmarks. There was a couple of funny looking trees. Yeah, and the road just beat me to death. Maybe I should have set camp up a little closer. I didn't realize I'd gone this far out. You probably listen to how quiet it is. Being real hard of hearing, I wish I could hear the quietness. All I hear is that tinniness. But top speed we were doing maybe 45. That's why it just feels like it takes forever. But they had a big duel. We stopped a couple of times, and they were looking for a fishing spot. They were hauling some kind of gold equipment. probably another generator or pump. It was all under tarp, so I didn't want to ask. All right. Yeah, and they just use the road out here for a airstrip to land the planes. Usually just your little Cessnas. There it is, the most northern truck stop on earth. Now, someone was saying, a lady was telling me that when I get to Prudhoe Bay, the restrictions are really stringent. You have to have a note from your doctor saying you're COVID-19 free in order to even go in and buy a sandwich or a soda pop. So, if that's the case, that may have been somebody just overreacting. But look. Nothing, nobody, no humans. It's weird. It's an eerie feeling. It's like when the Apollo program, when they had the 12 astronauts over that 4 years that landed on the moon. I always kind of thought they probably felt like I feel right now when they landed on the moon. Like Alan Bean and Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, Harrison Schmitt. Actually, Harrison Schmitt, I believe, was the last man on the moon. Actually, Apollo 17 was the last, and that was actually my favorite Apollo mission. It one that broke all the records, too. They stayed like 74 hours on the moon. And not all Apollo missions to the moon had those little four-wheeler cars on the moon. I think they started that in Apollo 14. There was like the J-type missions that had the car. But the Saturn V rocket stayed the same always. It was so dependable. And it's still the largest man-made machine ever. And the second loudest man-made object in the whole world, the Saturn V. See how I just go to one subject to the other? That's how my mind just never shuts off. All right, here's the post office. Yeah, they used to sell thermometers here that went down to 82 below, but it wasn't documented by NOAA, that National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, so it didn't count. But 82 degrees is the coldest temperature ever recorded in the North American continent here. Yeah, these are just stickers from all around the world. I'm gonna put shoestring on there. Well, I fixed to shut the camera off.